Welcome back to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Josh Roche, Realty Group.
We're talking about perception and reality. We're talking real estate. We're talking mortgages. We're talking appraisals. We're talking Donald Trump. We're talking all kinds of things. And we have Melissa DeLay with True Perception in studio here for our last segment. And we've had 3 great segments with very, very good information. So if you want to check that out, go to YouTube. And you can see Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo there and all of us and see what we're talking about and see us in action because it's very dynamic. We're using our hands and we're everything. So
we're doing promos.
Always. The Sicilian in me. Hey.
Yes. And Stephanie's got her glitter on, so we like to see that.
Sparkles.
As I said earlier, if you have any questions about real estate related questions or in fact any questions, we'll be happy to help. Mortgage related, real estate related, perception related, you name it. We have very, very great partners and referral partners and people and contacts. It's all about your network.
And working with
in our
professionals.
business.
Yep, people that we trust.
And if you have a great network, and this can span just not in the real estate world, but we're talking outside of the real estate world, your network is very, very powerful to you, to everybody, actually. So you can reach out to us at 651-400- 0773 651 400 0773 and we're happy to help and any way we can. Now, a couple of things I wanted to share, and this is a couple of quotes. And should we start with the funny one or I'll start with the funny one. This guy says, Marceline Cox, who's an American writer, says, if at first you don't succeed, blame your parents. Which is great to talk. Because
that's perfect.
Your network, we talked about your referral network and the people you work with, you can control that. Your family,
not so much.
Are not able to control. And then the other one, this is from another reputable person, Chuck Swindoll or Charles Swindoll. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. I'm sure many of us have heard that before.
Love that
10% of what happens to us, 90% how we react to it. And if you didn't see the first segment, I had a very strong, probably inappropriate reaction to appraisers, and as of late, there's been a lot of issues with appraisals that I've had. And probably by reacting in that way, and I learned this from Melissa and everybody on the show here, that it's not helping or will not help or change the situation. And to try to implement any change, you have to change your delivery, the tone, how you speak, words you say, and it's more importantly, Melissa, what words you don't say or what type of words you don't say probably too, right?
Yeah, because people pay attention and they hear those emotionally charged words, and then immediately emotion is evoked in them, and now they're trying to manage that emotion, having a harder time listening to you. They're not being influenced by you, and behavior changes that you're hoping to see are much harder to come by now.
Okay, I have a question, and Stephanie, Melissa, here's my question. Do we as a culture or a peoples, or human beings, crave drama? Is that part of is that like is that why maybe that some of these things are happening and you see a lot of drama? Like we have drama on TV, we have movies, and we have all this drama, and then we maybe mimic that or try to create some of that in our lives, or we're justified by having drama in our lives, or we're justified in our language, even though we know it will create drama because it will draw attention to us.
Goes back to your original quote, to be honest, maybe blame your parents. I believe there are people who live in a state of chaos. That is how they function in chaos and drama. I can tell you that's completely not me. And I think most people will know that know me will say I'm kind of the peacekeeper. I was just on a vacation with family and a lot of high-charged energy. An aunt and uncle, a brother and a sister, they're older. And I just, that's just, we learn about
Sicilians. Keep in mind, she's
a lot of energy.
So
there goes the hands. You know what I'm talking about. But I've just, and maybe, that's why I say, how can I help these people? But I'm just one that I kind of can be a diffuser, because I'm just a really calm, patient person. And I do get emotionally charged, but I have a way of just, like when the two people were fighting, I'm, okay, let's talk to this person and let's talk to this person and calm them down and then try to redirect the conversation to something more happy and focused and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I didn't grow up in a chaotic household. My dad was very Dad said something, you just did it.
Yeah, but so here's what I'm thinking about you. If you're listening if you're listening and you say the word drama.
How many?
That's even emotionally charged, by the way.
Is it? Yeah, but don't you have someone? Don't you have doesn't it trigger thoughts in your head or people?
Yeah,
and my question, maybe Melissa, maybe you can share because Stephanie's very not as dramatic peacekeeper column, which is great and and it's great in your industry. It's great in real estate because we're dealing with multiple things popping up and down all the time.
I'm dramatic when I tell a story,
but. From a standpoint of, I'm just saying overall, like, have we been trained? Is this like a natural thing or is this a biological thing?
It's a learned behavior. Everything really that we've talked about is a learned behavior. I'll say that we all have personality defects, possibly even personality disorders, but we have them to varying degrees. And I always say that there are some people, bless their hearts, that are probably in that category that need medical attention, right? But we're all out in the public arena interacting with one another. And so you're with somebody in a business situation or a personal situation, and maybe their personality disorder is way off the charts and yours is down here, but you're trying to interact with them. And if you haven't had the benefit of the kind of coaching that I have offered for the past 17 years to leaders and to individual contributors, you don't know how to handle a situation when somebody's personality disorder is coming at you,
and you're gonna
especially if you're like Stephanie, who wasn't raised in an environment like that.
So you have to rise to their level. So because I'm thinking of high school and middle school,
there's so many.
where the drama starts. The drama seems to start and it builds and it doesn't seem to really stop through your life. I mean, in different, maybe it does as we mature and get older, but it still seems to be like sometimes there's still that craving, and I don't know if it's because we're bored or we're not working out enough or diets or whatever, but we crave some sort of drama, and we have to watch it on TV a lot, and then sometimes we live it, or maybe we like living in it.
Well, it matches your quote, Jason. Life is only 10% of what happens to you. It's 90% how you react to it.
Yeah.
Whether you have that dramatic response, name calling, using words, or working it, like we were talking about, kind of working through it, realizing the situation.
And Jason, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said whether maybe we're bored. What I think we crave is adventure. We don't crave drama. We crave adventure. But if we are not getting adventure in some way, we manifest it in a level of drama because we want to be swept up into an adventure, and we want to go.
Adventure.
We do. Look at everybody going, "Amen." Where's the adventure? I want to go. But if we're not getting that, if we're in a job that we're not challenged, if we're in relationships or in family situations where things are just mundane, if we're struggling financially, if we can't get the house that we want to get, then we are craving that adventure, we're craving that kind of satisfaction, and we're not getting it. And so maybe we look for it in movies and television shows. And yes, the media is taking us sort of down a dark, twisted path in the kinds of stories that they promote,
headlines
and the kinds
and all
of shows.
that.
But we can choose what level of adventure we're, because I heard some people, and I'm a runner too, I run, and to get my adventure, put me on a trail I've never been on, and give me some water and maybe a protein bar, and all of a sudden I'm gone. And so we're craving adventure, we're not craving drama, but drama is all around us, and we don't know how to react to it, so it might seem like we're kind of addicted to it.
I say, get me in a shoe store or makeup counter. Woo, that is an adventure.
I'm going there with you when I'm done running.
That's a great point, folks. So if you didn't, there's many tips that you got out of this, and hopefully you got a lot out of it. Again, find Stephanie Havel's information if you have any questions about mortgages, refinancing, buying a home. Go to our Facebook page, Stockwell Roche Show. There'll be Melissa DeLay's information there, True Perception, TRUperception.com.
That was awesome.
We'll be there. And thanks for listening. We'll be back next week. We're going to have a couple shows. One is going to be on inspections and drain cleaning. And,
that sounds fun.
And then another one is going to be on self-directed IRAs, what they are and how you can use them in real estate.
Sweet.
Thanks again, guys. I'm Jason Stockwell, RE/MAX Results.
Josh O'Shea, Realty Group.
Remember, love yourself and love others.
Woo!
Have a great week.